important. Esther has a heart for young people, and this is partly expressed through her leadership in their youth group Rise at her church with around 40 plus young people. Esther also plays guitar and leads worship in her church. Esther is a faithful young person who loves God and wants to become a youth pastor and make working with youth her career and ministry path. Thank you, Esther.
Can I just say that God is raising up a generation of worshippers and like people that are just so sold out for the kingdom that all they want to do when they get together is worship. And I know I have some friends that are like that, and whenever we get together, we always just go like, all we want to do is worship and get into the presence of God and like pray over each other and prophesy over each other. And like, I really think that young people these days, they don't want to hear the religion, or they don't want to hear all the like the cookie cutter stuff. They want to like know the realness of God, and they want to feel the presence of God in their lives. And so it's really exciting. I go to a lot of youth meetings where all we do is just like worship for hours after hours, and so exciting. Like God is just doing awesome things. I started a youth group on Russell Island about a month and a half ago, and we already have like 50 kids, and so it's really I never thought that I would be in this position, even like at the end of last year. Like at the end of last year, God just said, I want you to start a youth group. It's going to be called Rise Youth, and it's going to start on the 27th of January. I'm like, okay, thanks God. So that's really exciting. And all of the kids, like none of them were saved. None of them knew anything about God or anything. So it's really exciting starting off with kids and just, So even in this short time, like a month and a half, like I've already seen so much change in their lives, and some of the kids have come to know Christ. And just by being real, you know, I keep getting reminded of this prophecy by Heidi Baker, and she said that love looks like something, that it looks like you just stopping for the one in front of you, like you spending time with them in the park, like just sitting with them, or like having coffee with them. That love looks like something. And so that's, you know, how I want to live my life, like that, is just stopping for the one in front of me and, you know, showing them the love of God. But what I really feel to speak on today is what kind of voice are we to our generation, and what kind of voice are we to the older and younger generations? Being a voice doesn't necessarily mean that we speak out a lot or vocalize our opinions or beliefs, but it's what we're speaking in general. So what is our voice? And what kinds of things are we speaking into our generations? Now, I catch a lot of public transport. Who catches a lot of public transport here? Yeah, so every day I catch a boat and a bus and sometimes trains. So I'm always on public transport. And you know what? Very rarely when I'm on public transport do I hear people speaking words of encouragement to each other. I'm constantly witnessing parents speaking words of worthlessness over their children. Some children so young they can't even speak, let alone understand the meaning of the words. Things like, you idiot, good for nothing, useless, worthless, stupid. I've even heard parents threatening to kill their kids if they don't behave, or leaving them and dumping them somewhere. And these were tiny, like little children. And it breaks my heart to see the hurt and rejection these kids suffer from such a young age. So what is our voice? Many of you are probably thinking, I would never say those words to anyone, but what are you speaking behind closed doors? You may be absolutely fed up with one of the kids you're working with, or the way that someone is treating you, when all you've ever done is spend time and dedicated time to helping them, or going out of your way to be friendly. And all you get in return for all of your time and your efforts is dirt kicked in your face. Who knows the feeling? I know I do. So you might go home and have a little bit of a rage to your husband or wife or parent or sibling or whoever it is and let it all out. I'm definitely guilty of doing this, don't you worry. But have you ever noticed that while you're speaking badly about them, you're also talking yourself up? You're saying all the good things you've done, how you've helped them, and all the things you've done to bless them. And so we are cursing and blessing at the same time. John 3 verse 10 says, "And so blessing and cursing comes pouring out of the same mouth. Surely, my brothers and sisters, this is not right." Did you know that your tongue holds the power of life or death? You may not be speaking bad things to someone in person, but while you're at home having your little rage about them, you're actually speaking death into their spirit. The other day I was talking to my pastors about this, and they said, the words aren't necessarily any worse, it's just more out in the open. Things aren't kept behind closed doors as much anymore. We wonder how some people can grow up so mixed up, why our generations are growing up getting into drugs and alcohol, same-sex relationships, jobless, living on the streets, so insecure in themselves that they become bulimic or reside to self-harm, and why suicide rates keep increasing. It's because of the words being spoken into their life, that they are worthless and good for nothing, stupid, ugly, fat, annoying, and the list goes on. What do we expect from our generations if these are the words that we are speaking? If we are saying that someone is good for nothing, do we really expect them to grow up with great ambition? If we are calling people stupid, do we really believe that they will excel academically and top their class? If we are saying that someone is ugly or fat or annoying, do we really think that they're going to grow up with confidence? Are these really the kinds of things that we want to be feeding into the generations to come? Now, I agree with my pastors. I don't really think it's any worse. I just think it's more out in the open, that things aren't kept behind closed doors like they used to be. And our culture has made way for these things to be okay. Oh, that's just teenagers for you. Well, that's all they're just going to be if that's what we are speaking over them. We so often underestimate the power of our words. I know I constantly have to examine myself and the words that I'm speaking over people, because sometimes I don't even realize it. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be responsible for speaking words of worthlessness and death over people. I want to speak words of hope and life. When someone kicks dirt in my face, I don't want to kick it back at them, but I want to be able to humble myself and be able to wash their feet. I want to be able to get over my pride and pour my best perfume on their feet and be a person of honor. I really think that we need to examine our hearts and where we're at and what we're really speaking, what our voice really is. Thank you.